What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the latest and greatest edition. J5 Solutions present the 5-Star Solution Podcast. I'm your host, Jimmy. Welcome to the latest and greatest episode because the next one is always going to be greater than the last one. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, thank you all for real for just downloading, for subscribing, for your comments, for your feedback. Like, I just truly appreciate each and every one of you out there that's been supporting. Big ups. All right, I appreciate it. And if you've heard all 7 episodes, because this is season 1, episode 8 of the 5-Star Solution Podcast, if you've listened to each episode and can tell me one thing you learned from each episode, I have a very special free gift just for you. All right, free gift just for you. So all you have to do is just inbox me. You can reply to this in the feed below. You can inbox me. However you can get a message to me, send up a smoke signal. However you can get a message to me, tell me what each title of each of the past 7 episodes are, and I have a very special free gift for you.
J5 Solutions presents the 5-Star Solution Podcast, a haven for the kingdom creative. Here, we understand that your body is a temple, a sacred vessel entrusted to you by God. We invite you to embark on a journey of crafting wellness and igniting creativity as you steward the masterpiece that is your mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to the 5-Star Solution Podcast.
So before I jump right into it today, I have a special message for you today. Something that the Lord has been dealing with me on, that has been heavy on my heart to bring to you all. And it could be a message for me. Or it could be just a message that He's been wanting me to internalize and to work through my own personal self. But why not share? Because some of you may feel it may be for you. Or you may know someone that's going through and it may be for them. Look, there's no thought of the day, no scripture of the day, no scripture of the episode, verse of the episode, nothing like that today. I'm just going to hop right into it. But don't forget the Identity Reveal Men's Empowerment Conference coming up on June 15th. Phenomenal speakers that's going to bring a powerful, moving message. So for all my men out there, for all my young men out there that's just trying to work through it, figure it out. If you're single, if you're a father, if you're a husband, if you're single, have the desire to be a father. If you're single, you have the desire to be a husband. This will change your life. Guaranteed it will change your life. June 15th, Hartfield Academy. We have some awesome sponsors. So you're going to get some great gifts when you come. You're going to get a great message when you come. You're going to get fed, not just food, but also the word of God. Just phenomenal speakers with a phenomenal message. It's just, you do not want to miss it. And to ensure you don't miss it, we have a special offer going on right now, 2 for 1. Right? Because what this is about, breaking generational bondages and building community. So it's a 2 for 1 special. You and a brother, my uncle, a father, a friend, a confidant, a mentor, just you plus your plus one. Find you a plus one. And we have a special 2 for 1 pricing going on right now. Right, 2 for 1 pricing of $49.99 going on for you and your plus one. The Identity Reveal Men's Empowerment Conference. Who am I? Who am I? It's coming from the book of John. The 7 who I am statements coming from the book of John is what the foundation is. And we're just going to build and build and build and grow from there. All right. So hit me up for that special pricing. Again, 2 for 1 pricing going on right now through April 20th. So from today through April 20th, it's a 2 for 1 special offer for all those that say, hey, I heard the offer on the podcast, plug me in. Okay. Only way you can get that special offer is by mentioning that you heard it on season 1, episode 8, the damaged goods episode.
Unlock your true identity and break free from generational bondages at the Identity Rebuild Men's Conference. Join us in creating a powerful community of empowered and kingdom men on June 15th. Register now and step into a new chapter of spiritual growth and empowerment. Early bird registration is open now through April 15th. Don't miss this opportunity to secure your spot at a discounted rate. See you there.
So look, when I was a kid or high school, I had two jobs. I don't know what it is about kids these days. Like my son, I cannot get him to work, right? But some things about to change. Anyway, I digress. When I was in high school, I had two jobs. So I went to school, then I got out of school. I worked at McDonald's, the first fast food restaurant in the city of Byron, McDonald's. And I worked there night shift. Got off about 9:30, 10 o'clock, left there, walked across the parking lot to what was then Jitney Jungle. And now it's Val's. Back then it was Jitney Jungle, and I stocked shelves. So I went to school, got out of school, went to McDonald's, closed at McDonald's, went to Jitney Jungle to stock shelves. And me and a friend of mine, we would be hungry, right? You got tired of eating McDonald's, right? So we would be hungry when midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, we still stocking shelves. We would be hungry, and they had this policy to where if the canned goods were damaged, then you could just lost. It's a loss, right? You just write it off, throw it in the bin, and then they throw it away or whatever they did with it. I probably donated it to a food pantry or something like that. I'm not really sure. So when we heard this, we begged to work on the canned good aisle, like with the fruit, specifically the fruit. He liked sardines, so he wanted to be with the Vienna sausages and the sardines and all that stuff like that is where he wanted to be. And we would deliberately take cans and slap them on the floor, punch them, get a box cutter or a hammer, and dent it. We would dent it just so we can have it and eat it for free. That was our thing. Every night, that's what we would do. And that came up in a conversation that I was having with someone, and I just started thinking about like damage, like being damaged, and how it's easy to, like, when you see something that is damaged, you throw it away. You get rid of it. You don't want it anymore. It looks, because it's deformed, because it has a imperfection, then you just want to get rid of it for something brand new and shiny. I can remember back, my first car was a 68 Pinto station wagon. Yep, you're right. Not just a Pinto, but a station wagon. That was my very first car. And I would get talked about. I would pull up in that car and people would laugh. You know how cruel kids are. They would laugh, they would point fingers, they would do all sorts of things. And then it had this, in the back left wheel, station wagon. So in that long bed on the back left side wheel, under the carpet, it was an ant bed. And I just could not figure out anything to get rid of this ant bed. So these ants would just hang out right there. They wouldn't go all over the car or anything. It would just be an ant bed. Every summer, an ant bed would form right there. And so it would get talked about, laughed at, ridiculed, all those things. But I just kept driving it because all I knew was that I didn't have to ride the bus anymore. All I knew was that I had a way to get to work and not have to rely on my mother to take me to work. And it gave me freedom. It gave me freedom to go to JSU games on the weekends. It gave me freedom to go to the mall, and as soon as I get my paycheck, to run to the Metro Center and spend it, buying new clothes and shoes and all those things. It gave me freedom. And I love that freedom. Like, the freedom was more important to me than people talking about me, what type of car I drove. So what ended up happening was that when people would see me out, hear me talk about we went this place and that place, and I had three friends. I had three close friends that would ride with me, and we probably would have $5 between us. But back then, it only took $2 worth of gas, you could fill it up. And we would just ride and ride. I remember we would go to the Metro Center, and I think it was Sears, maybe JCPenney, I'm not really sure what store, Dillard's maybe. And they would have the bags. You put a quarter in and get the big bags when you first come in the door. So we would do that. We would each grab a bag and we would go take it outside to the car, put some stuff in it that we brought from the house, and just front like we've been shopping. Just walk around the mall with these bags full of stuff we brought from the house, having the appearance that we went shopping. But what started happening was that when people started seeing us like that, when they were at the malls with their parents, when they were at JSU games with their parents, I couldn't go because their parents didn't want to take them, they started piling up in the car. Like the car was full. Then back then, they would put a blanket over that ant bed, and the whole back of the car would be jam packed. The inside of the car, it was the bucket seats, front and back. So it'd be like 4 or 5 people, because nobody cared about seatbelts and nothing like that back then, or safety. It'd be 4 or 5 people in the back seat, 3 or 4 people in the front seat, and we would just ride to South Jackson, Brook Hollow, College Hill, Presidential Hills, with JSU campus, and we would just have a great time. And people forgot about the part that it was a 68 Pinto. They forgot about the part that it was damaged and beat up, because the outside of the car didn't matter as much as the substance that was on the inside and what it provided. And to circle that back to the canned goods, the store said if a canned good is damaged, throw it away. Put it in a bin and throw it away. That's what the store said. But my friend and I, we took that as, if they just throwing it away, then we could eat it, right? So why throw it away? Why throw away a perfectly good can because there's a little dent on the outside, when the inside of it is what matters the most? That's where the substance is. Why throw away a dented can because of the way it looks on the outside when the inside of it is still good? Because the inside is what holds the substance. Because the inside of it is what holds the nutrition. So I have some cans here, right? So you look at this. Pineapples, right? See the dent in it? It has a dent in it. So by store policy, this should just be tossed out and thrown away. But in the morning, when I get up and before I work out or train clients, I'm popping this top and I'm eating what's inside of it. Because again, the inside of this, the pineapples is still good. The can is dented, but the pineapples still provide proper nutrients. The pineapples still give me the nourishment that I need to fuel my body for the day. Because it's what's on the inside of the can, not how the can looks on the outside. It's a can of paint or touch-up paint. I bought this from this store because the furniture that we have in the studio, it gets nicked up sometimes. So I bought this to just touch-up paint. But look, there's a dent in it. It doesn't look pretty, but everything that's in it is pretty. Everything that's in it, when you pop the top and you use it to touch up furniture that has nicks and it covers up those imperfections and makes old things new. Why put new wine in old wine skins? So just because the can is old doesn't mean what's inside of it needs to be thrown away. Because it's what's inside that counts, that matters the most. Here's another example. I get done with my workout, all right, a product that I truly believe in, Shaklee. All right, this is after a workout, this is what I personally use after every workout. This is what I recommend my clients to use after every workout. But look, scratches in it. Look at the scars on it, all right? I don't know if look, see the scars? Scars are on the outside, all right? Look, still good. No leaks, no holes, nothing. It may not look pretty, but it's still complete. The substance that's in it is what rebuilds muscle. The substance that is in this imperfected, scars on it, is what gives me and my clients muscle, or rebuilds our muscle. because of what's on the inside. And lastly, look, hand sanitizer. Look at this. I don't even remember why I had to cut the top on. I don't even know what I was going with trying to cut the top off, because I ain't even finished cutting it all the way. But see, there's still sanitizer in it. If I turn it over, will it leak? It'll leak a little bit. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. That doesn't mean that it's not usable. So why I say, what's my point? I've been rambling on for 11, 12 minutes. J5 Solutions presents the 5-Star Solution Podcast. What is my point in saying all that? What is my point of bringing up the Pinto station wagon? What is my point of bringing out all the damaged canned goods and bottles and things like that? What is my point? My point is that it doesn't matter how many scars you have. Doesn't matter how broken you are. Doesn't matter how beat down you are. Doesn't matter how ugly you look or feel. It doesn't matter the imperfections that you have. Those things don't matter, because it's what's inside of you that count the most. It's what God put inside of you that counts. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, we make horrible choices. Yes, we do things in life that we sometimes regret, and that we look back on and be like, why? Why did I do that? Oh, why did I do that? Now I have to live with that scar forever. Now I have to live with that imperfection forever. But that's okay. And sometimes when you out and people see you and they remember that dent that you have, they remember that scar that you have, they remember that imperfection about you that you have, and they think about, and that may come to mind, but again, it's what's inside of you that counts. It's how you feel about you. I was talking to a kid and I was doing some skills training, and I asked the kid, does he have the confidence in himself to make a 3-point shot? And the kid said no. He don't think he would ever be able to make a 3-point shot because he's not strong enough and he's not good enough. And I wasn't expecting that answer. I was not. That was the first kid that I've ever asked about shooting a 3-pointer, and they admitted that they could make a 3-point shot. First time. There's some kids out there that can't dribble and walk at the same time, but with swerving down, they the next best Steph Curry. I'm like, son, you can't even dribble and walk at the same time. But this kid he looked up at me, and you could see his eyes begin to tear up. And he said, no, I can't make it. I'm not strong enough to make it. And my message to him on that was, don't ever doubt yourself. Don't ever look at how people around you are doing and judge you by what other people are doing. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You were made in God's image. So therefore, there is nothing average or just a about you. You are destined for greatness. Point blank, period. So don't ever doubt yourself. Whatever you've lived, every scar that you have is proof. You're sitting here right now watching this, listening to this, however you're doing, reading the captions on this, whatever, however you get into it. The fact that you are breathing right now and able to do that means that every single scar that you have, every dent that you have, is a reminder that whatever tried to kill you didn't work. Whatever tried to hurt you didn't succeed. Whomever tried to put their foot in your neck didn't prevail. Because God writes our story. So I don't care about your damages. I don't care about your scars. I don't care how weak you feel at times. I don't care how things uncomfortable for you gets. You still, every single day, trust God, have faith, and do hard things. Every day. You are enough. That's the message. You are enough. I know you feel broken. I know you feel damaged. I know you hurt. I know you feel sorrow. I know you have bouts of depression. I know you feel sad. I know times you are unsure. You're not happy. You doubt. You lack belief. You don't have hope. Your faith is wavering. All the above. At some point in time in your life, everyone has had one of those things. And I know that because I've experienced each one of those things. Recently, I've experienced one or two or more of those things. But I go back and I tap back into the 68 Pinto station wagon and the freedom that it brought me, regardless of how it looked on the inside, what it did for me and my family on the inside. Because now my mom didn't have to take away from my brother and sister to make sure I'm at work, to get me to practice, to pick me up at 2 a.m. from Jitney Jungle. She didn't have to do that. So it gave her space to not worry less about me and focus on my younger brother and sister. Some saw a 68 Pinto station wagon and laughed at it. Internally, for those that matter the most, we saw freedom. We saw opportunity. We saw our way out. We saw us evolving and becoming. That's what we saw. And that's what matters the most, is what for yourself. I don't care if you use as damaged as this, all right? You are enough. You are enough. And I'll show you how. Check this list out. Now, I think back in episode 1, Even a Sinner Like Me, I read this list, and I think this is a good space to bring this list back up and read it again and prove to you how that even someone as damaged as you, God will still use you for his glory and for his will. And like I told that kid, I was like, every time you walk on the court, off the court, every time you get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, every time you leave the house, you do so with the confidence of that you are enough. And every step you make, you do it becoming the best version of yourself. You don't leave anything by chance. You walk in your light every single day and you be the best version of yourself. And when it's all said and done, you only have 2 people in this world that you have to make happy. 2. There's only 2 people that you should care about what they feel, think, and say about you. 2 people. That's self, and that's the Creator. Period. Not your mama, not your spouse, not your BFF, not your child, not the man on social media, not the woman in the office. Self and the Creator. You check those 2 boxes, every single day you will live a fulfilled, healthy life. And every single thing you want in life, regardless if you're driving a 68 Pinto station wagon, are you eating pineapples out of a damaged can, you will have every single thing that you need. God will provide. God will heal. God will make a way. God will put water in a desert, and he will put roads in the wilderness. God says that he will give you the confidence and the faith that whatever mountain's in front of you, you tell that mountain to move, it will move. So be encouraged today, knowing that you are enough and that God will use you. Someone as damaged as you, someone as many scars as you, God will still use you. I'm going to show you how. Because God used Elijah, who was suicidal. Because God used Joseph, who was abused. Because God used Job, and he went bankrupt. Moses had a speech problem. Gideon was afraid. Samson was a womanizer. Rahab was a prostitute. The Samaritan woman was divorced. Noah was a drunk. Jeremiah was young. Jacob was a cheater. David was a murderer. Jonah ran from God. Naomi was a widow. Peter denied Christ 3 times. Martha worried about everything. Zacchaeus was small and money hungry. The disciples fell asleep while praying. And Paul was a Pharisee who persecuted Christians before he became one. You have to remember that God used a bunch of flawed people to spread hope and cheer and light to the world. It's only in him that we find renewal, that we find redemption, and we find healing. Because at the end of the day, all right, you got to remember that God did not call the equipped. He equipped the call. And that through him, all things are possible. But without him, nothing is. So stand on faith today. Hold on to hope. Walk in your glory. Be your own light. Gather your own oil. Create your own path. It reminds me of a lot of times we get so upset, and it just came to me about how we get so upset, we feel some type of way when we look on social media. Sometimes, well, I'm just talking about me, may feel upset, may feel some type of way sometimes when you see people out there doing this and doing that. Nobody invite you to this, nobody invite you to that. And you may feel some type of way because nobody's inviting you to the table. But if you look around, there's nothing but trees all around you. But you're so focused on not sitting at the table that you take your eyes off the trees that are sitting around, that are all around you. Think about that. You have numbered trees in your life all around you, but you're worried about a table. You'll catch that tomorrow. All right, about to get up out of here. Man, I appreciate you all. Season 1, episode 8, 5-Star Solution Podcast. Don't forget, June 15th, Men's Empowerment Conference at Hartfield Academy. Again, the 2-for-1 special going on now through 20 April. So if you want to, you and your mentor, you and your son, whomever, right? You want to sign up with them, hit me up, 769-241-1113. Text the Damaged Goods Podcast to me, and I'll send you a special link to where you get a discount, $49.99 for 2 people. All right. Great speakers, dynamic speakers. Dynamic. Like, I got to be on my A game coming behind some of these speakers. I think I'll probably go first. That way I can, everything else goes up from there. Because the men that are speaking at this conference, John Moore, Eddie Winters, Arthur Jones, mighty men of God with a powerful story to share with you that's going to break every generational bondage that you have, that's going to build a community of strong men where we can hurt and go to someone and tell them that we're hurting and don't have to worry about the backlash from that. We can get true healing in real time. All right. I always like to end everything I do with 3 things that you must do every single day. That's trust God, that's have faith, and that's do hard things. See you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the 5-Star Solution Podcast. Please be sure to like and comment on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode.